Welcome to Saving the Investor with certified financial planner, investment advisor, and insurance professional Alfie Townsend, president of Advantage Retirement Group.
Good morning, Southwest Florida. This is Saving the Investor. I'm Alfie Townsend, Southwest Florida certified financial planner professional. I'm here with Pastor John Antonucci, and hopefully we're going to get rid of this cold weather we had last week and got some warm weather warming up, and we have so much to talk about. What a fantastic week, between the market, but mostly we're going to talk about what this new president and new administration means to the stock market and means to our country. So stay tuned. Welcome to the show, John.
Yeah, good morning, Southwest Florida. As we look ahead to 2025, it's clear that the economic landscape is just full of opportunities for growth and financial success. And whether you're planning for retirement, building wealth, or navigating the current market trends, now is the time to take a proactive step towards a stronger financial future. Remember, you do have options, and the decisions you make today can have a lasting impact on your financial goals. And if you've been wondering how to position yourself to take advantage of what's ahead, Alfie is here to help. Alfie has put together a toolkit that is available to you right now. And if economic uncertainties have in the past put your financial decisions on hold, you really need to grab a hold of Alfie's toolkit that will help transform your worries of retirement into confidence. His toolkit's going to give you a wide range of materials such as, will your money last as long as you do? You need to know that answer. Are you paying too much in taxes in retirement? If Alfie can reduce your tax liability, that's going to put more money in your pocket. Social Security guide. Listen, don't procrastinate. Be one of the first 9 callers or text. Pick up the phone, call the operator, or text the word KIT to 239-747-1077. You want to get a hold of Alfie's Toolkit right now. Ask for it, ask the operator, or text the word KIT to 239-747-1077 and position yourself for financial increase in 2025. And Alfie, we've got us a new president. 47, Donald J. Trump. It's exciting what's happening, and he's signing away, and hopefully he can get his picks in place quickly, even though there's a couple hiccups there. But, hopefully get things through the House and through the Senate that's more establishing than an executive order.
Yeah, it's going to be, well, you just see the first 100, talking about 100 days, how about 100 hours? What he has done in 100 hours is probably more than what Biden did in 4 years. It's
50 years, maybe.
Yeah, that's probably more realistic. But no, it was just an exciting. I think I was talking to my son Devin, and it's like it just feels like a weight was lifted off because these last 4 years, and I'm talking about clients coming in and the concerns that they had, and their concerns was direction of the country. Are we going to be bankrupt? Are we going to be able to withstand another 4 years if Trump didn't win? And it was just, these were conversations that I had every day. And I told our team, I said, if Trump did not win, this would be we wouldn't have time to take any time off because, we don't have time now. But if you think we're busy, we've been real busy just, talking to people about different strategies that we're going to have to do now. Because now we need to protect your money, and this is what we're going to do to protect it. But now you just saw everything that he's promoting, pro-America, national pride again. It's just, strong America, America first, just, these...
Drill, baby, drill.
Drill, baby, drill, yeah. And just, it's just the prosperity for everybody, not just a few. And people are feeling it, and you can see it in the market. The markets have been rallying. You have a $500 billion investment that he talked about this week. That was for AI,
right?
And that's and it's I think it's going to create a lot more than 100,000 jobs. That was the first number, but it has to be more than that because you have to build energy plants to run these AIs. These buildings they were saying that they're building right now for this AI is 1 million. It's 1 million. Square foot.
Yeah,
1 million square foot. It's not. These are buildings.
Centers, yeah.
These are big data centers, and they need their own energy source. So, we have portfolios. We're talking to our portfolio managers that's dedicated, with AI and energy combined. So, there's exciting times, and I can't wait to really share with our clients, our new people that calls in and that visits us to check us out. But there's a lot of things that I think are opportunities that we didn't have before.
Yeah. Well, me looking at the inauguration, what really stood out to me was the difference between 2016 and 2024, and the fact that he had all of those big, talk about Fortune 500 companies, Bezos and Zuckerberg and, Google up there and Musk up there. I mean, all these people that were really sort of like pushing against him before are now becoming aligned with him. Apple, what does that really do for the market? I mean, that has to give them some type of confidence that we're going to a place we haven't been there before.
Well, that's a great point, John, because that's what I always said. I said if the media, how good the economy was doing in 17, 18, 19, but before COVID came. But, I said if the media was fair with him, just fair.
Right.
What could have happened? And how about and then you had, like you said, Facebook, took him off of Facebook. He took him off of Facebook. You had, Twitter was blocking things. So, this could be something where if we're aligned, where he's not just fighting.
Right.
This could be something huge.
Yeah.
I mean, bigger than we ever, we could imagine. And so I'm excited to see what it brings. And I think it's going to, he's going in there with highest ratings that he's had. And I think it's going to be just good for the market. It's going to be where people want to invest, and people, look how much I think he's brought in. They were saying like $3 trillion already.
Wow.
of money from foreign countries that are investing here, and it's going to be as high as $6 to $7 trillion. So when you're talking about putting this kind of money into the U.S., we're going to have, and we're going to talk about this on the next break, but with interest rates, what do we feel? We had a talk with one of our money managers about interest rates for 2025, what it means to have this kind of growth and stuff like that, how many cuts we're going to have, and you're going to be surprised what they said. But there's a lot of good things happening, and I think this is like they call it the golden age.
Yeah.
And this is the golden age of America because I think there's opportunities out there. And if you remember, in 2016, 2017, 18, the amount of people making money, it wasn't just the top, it was the bottom. The bottom made more money than they ever made. And it kept going up at the bottom, the middle class and the high net worth. But the middle class had the biggest increase of what they made. So that's all good news.
Yeah, tremendous news. And, this is the time really to make a move and do something that you've never done. If you want to have something that you never had, you have to do something that you've never done. And if you're sitting on the sidelines right now, you've been waiting to invest or get back into the market or to get a plan and a strategy, Alfie Townsend, or even a second opinion, he is Southwest Florida's premier financial planner. He has over 40 years experience in this industry, and he does what's called a retirement simulator process, which is a deep dive into your current portfolio, taking you back 5 years to see what's really going on, putting his portfolio next to yours. You'll see exactly how his performed. And he's going to expose all the hidden fees that could be eating up your returns each year, going to make sure that you're allocated properly, diversified correctly, that you're not taking undue risk for the amount of return that you're getting. This retirement simulator process is something that he can only handle 9 people per week, so you need to be one of the first 9 callers right now. Either pick up the phone, call, or text the word VISIT, V-I-S-I-T, to 239-747-1077. Tell the operator I want to take advantage of Alfie's retirement simulator process. If you don't want to talk to anybody, just text the word VISIT VISIT to 239-747-1077. You owe it to yourself. Don't wait until the market is rocking in the middle of the year. Get in right now on the ground floor. Be somebody who's ready to make a decision to move forward. 239-747-1077. Call the operator or text the word visit to 239-747-1077. We're going to have more discussion on finances right after this break, so don't go away. Welcome back to Saving the Investor with certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend. You know, Alfie's book was in high demand last week, and due to popular demand, he's offering it again. There's a complimentary copy that waits for you to claim your book. All you have to do is call the operator and ask for it, or text the word book to 239-747-1077. You know, Alfie's book is your guide to a fulfilling retirement. You don't want to miss out on the insights and valuable stories that he's going to share about investors that he has helped save over his 40-year career. Get a hold of your copy right now. Call the operator or text the word book, B-O-O-K, to 239-747-1077. And Alfie, we're talking about the Trump's first, not full week yet, but he's getting rolling real good, and closing up the border and rebuilding the wall and sending people back. But there really is a vision for a golden age of America, and I don't think we've ever heard someone talk like this since Ronald Reagan, and that was a bright time when he started as well.
Yeah, when you're putting America first, and that's a big thing, because we've been just the last 4 years we've been just prosperity wasn't really talked about. It was about fairness. It was about
do your fair share.
Yeah, do your fair share. Give and take. Or give, no take. And now people realize that, hey, we've been hurting. We've been have high interest, high inflation. What are we supposed to do? And then high taxes.
Right.
And taxes. Even though they say the same, inflation is a tax.
Definitely.
It's a tax.
Sure.
It's a big tax. And, when you're paying $1,000 a month more for things that you weren't paying just a few years ago.
Grocery and gas.
Grocery and gas it's a big tax. So, we did have a talk with one of our money managers. We have a few of them that we deal with that we respect very highly. And these are managers that you would have to have millions and millions of dollars invested with them just for them to even talk to you. And we're able to, because our partnership, our relationship with them for our clients, that's who we get to invest with. And we get to, have calls with them. And the call with one of them this past week, he talked about, the assets that we're going to do good, the sectors that we're going to do good. He did say that the smaller companies are going to do better than the large companies this year. But he did say that there's probably only going to be one interest rate cut this year, only one. That would be like 1/4 of a point. So that's not a whole lot. That's not going to do a whole lot, because the 10-year Treasury is going up. Now, that's good for, insurance companies like that, like annuities. They like a higher interest rate. So that's better if you're looking for income. It's going to be a better a rate of return for you in insurance products and CDs. So you'll get a higher rate on that. But there's many better things than that out there right now than the CDs, because CDs are usually the short term is about
4%, really.
Yeah, it's not anything great. But some of our structured notes are paying close, to 8%. We have some things out there that are paying double-digit returns for interest. So there's some good things out there that you need to give us a call, and some of them are accredited, meaning that you have to have a certain net worth or a certain type of income to be able to qualify for it. So, but there are great opportunities when interest rates are a little bit high. So that's a good thing. But he was talking about when you can't be cutting interest rates if the economy is doing so good. They're anticipating the economy is going to be rocking and rolling. So you can't have an economy that's rocking and rolling and lower interest rates. Then you're going to spur up inflation again. So it's a fine line.
Salaries have to go up in order for people to feel a difference.
Yeah, salaries are going to have to go up. And, so, but if people are working and having better paying jobs, that's going to help.
Right.
That's going to help. And then they're going to feel richer too, because their stock market is going to be, holding, and interest will, but, what's going to hurt is going to be if you're looking to buy a home and you're going to mortgage that home, those rates aren't going to be going down anytime soon, they were saying.
And they're right around 7, I think, right now.
Yep, they are, and it's still, if you go back to the 80s,
Sure.
it was,
The bargain.
14%, for a home mortgage. And of course, your credit card rates, those things are through the roof. I know he was talking about putting a max on that, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon.
Yeah. I don't think he'll be able to do that. But yeah, I mean, it's, the opportunity that you're talking about is so great right now. And, it just seems like, there's a restoration of integrity and competence that we haven't had, which right there makes that weight feel lifted off, doesn't it?
Well, if you think about that too, John, you think about,
Because we didn't know who was running the country really for 4
we
years.
didn't know who was running the country. And look, I haven't heard yet his press secretary, the 27-year-old.
She's tremendous.
Yeah, I've heard her before, but I mean, since he's been president, because he's taking the call, the questions, and he's out there talking to reporters, and they can ask any question they want, and he's going to answer it. And why is different this time? Because this is last term he can run,
right?
And he knows he's there for a reason. He had a mandate. He had majority of the popular vote. He,
seven swing states. He got
7 swing states, electoral college. So he knows it was a mandate, and he feels pretty confident. He's going in with high ratings, and the thing about it, he doesn't need to do this. He has all the money he wants. He could spend. So the good thing about it is he loves our country, and he wants to put our country in the best position. And he's already sending a lot of these illegals, these prisoners, these convicts back, and which is nothing but good news about America. To get America safe again, get America healthy again, and get America up and running again.
Yeah, and we live in the greatest place to live in, the Gulf of America.
The Gulf of America, yes. So Trump's first week, let's look at getting things done. Markets are on a nice pace, and again, this $500 billion investment in AI is going to create over 100,000 jobs. Power plants, it's going to have power plants because the computers that they're building for the AI is so large. It needs so much. It needs a power plant to run it itself. He's
shutting down all the wind stuff. I mean, he shut that down already, which is amazing. So he's going full drill oil and
So you're going to see energy prices. You're going to see them start to come down, okay? Because you're going to be drilling, baby, and you got to drill. But you're going to have power plants. You're going to have, and these are some of the stocks, the Magnificent Seven performance for 2024. Google was at 35%. Amazon was at 44%. Apple was at 30%. You had Meta at 65%. Microsoft at 12%. NVIDIA at 171, and Tesla at 62. I want to go back to NVIDIA. You have a guy on Fox. He runs these commercials all the time to say, all these billionaires are selling NVIDIA. And one of my friends said, what should we do about NVIDIA? I said, are you watching that commercial? He says, yes. I said, these are prognosticators. I said, he is selling, the guy is Charlin or Chalklin, I think his name is. Anyway, you probably heard him saying all these billionaires are selling their holdings of NVIDIA. I'm going to give you 3 companies that you can buy to replace it. So, if you would have listened to him, you would have been losing out on NVIDIA's earnings. Last year, he did the same thing with Amazon, and Amazon last year made 44%. He was saying to sell that is no longer a good stock to own. So what I'm saying is you own a good portfolio, you have good companies, you rebalance, and you don't listen to these guys out there because negative sells more than positive,
Right.
without a doubt. So you just have to make sure you have an advisor that is explaining things to you, and you're in you have a plan that you can live by and know that you're going to be just fine.
And these are all NASDAQs, right? This is all on the NASDAQ?
NASDAQ and S&P.
Okay. All right. So you'd be diversified, by coming in and sitting down with Alfie, because he's going to put you across the board. And there's many other opportunities that he talked about that you could take advantage of, like the structured note and the double-digit interest rates. If you want to find out more about that, you owe it to yourself to make an appointment, sit down with Alfie in Fort Myers or Naples. He's got 2 beautiful offices. All you have to do is text the word visit. Be one of the first 9 callers right now. Call or text the word visit to 239-747-1077. You owe it to yourself to why not take advantage of Southwest Florida's premier financial planner and strategist with over 40 years experience as a CFP. And he's going to put together an income plan if you don't have a plan, a strategy, direction that you're going in. Even if you're already retired, you want to be able to have a plan and a strategy. Give Alfie a call, 239-747-1077, or text the word visit, VISIT, to 239-747-1077. You also can visit him on the web, savingtheinvestor.com. And his web address is savingtheinvestor.com. You'll find a wealth of information there. Stay tuned. We're going to be right back right after this break, so don't go away.
We can, okay, I'll welcome back, and then on page 6, we'll talk about.
All right.
Welcome back to Saving the Investor. Again, I am Alfie Townsend, Southwest Florida's certified financial planner professional, here with Pastor John Antonucci, and we are just excited. This is just a week that we were waiting. Excuse me, that's my phone. I should have had it on vibrate, but I did. But anyway, we had just a great week, John. It was one that we've been waiting for years. You've been telling me that he's going to win, and I said, you said that last time, and I didn't want to hear it.
I said, they don't
bring it down. I don't want to hear it. I just said I want to open that nice bottle of Opus One when he wins, and we did. And I tell you what, it was delish, and it was, I'm excited for our country, but I'm excited for our children in this country now, because I feel like we have hope again.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it was
I'm happy
big
for
time.
my grandchildren.
Oh, yeah.
At least we're going in a direction that's more towards, in my mind, a biblical worldview, because he's going back, saying there's only 2 genders. All the things that he's doing really comes out of the framers, and the framers really got everything, whether you want to believe it or not, out of the Bible. And that's a great thing to look at, and we're going in the right direction.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah. You don't have to say it all about all our listeners. They don't have to believe the same way, but,
No, I would say most of our listeners believe that also, John. And so let's look at a couple things that we want to, we talked about all these companies at Magnificent Seven that had all these unbelievable returns, but it wasn't just last year they had these great returns. So
those are massive.
Those are massive returns, and you might be sitting there with some stocks that you don't want to get rid of because they're outside of an IRA. Let's call these are stocks that have a lot of gains in there, but you'd like to have more income. So let's talk a little bit about income. So we have a strategy that we use here at the Advantage Retirement Group, and it's for people that have a lot of gains in certain stocks. It could be one stock, it could be a few stocks, and what we can do is we can take those stocks and put them in our strategy where they're putting them in options where they're going to be able to give you anywhere between, it can be 4% as high as 7 or 8%, depending on the stock company itself. But it will give you additional income that you weren't getting now. So instead of just having that stock sit there and go up and down, because they don't pay, a lot of these companies, John, they're growth stocks, or they're not paying dividends. They're not like a value company. They're more of a growth company, so they don't pay dividends. But this is not a dividend. This is having options on here, and it's allowed to move up quite a bit of money, move up, and still start taking income from it. So with these options, So if you want to learn more about that, where if you have some companies inside your portfolio, and it's, sitting there with a lot of money in there, and you'd like to earn an extra, we'll call it 4 to 8%, give us a call and we'll run some scenarios for you and show you what type of income we can generate for you. But this is just added income that you're not getting now.
Right.
Instead of just letting the stock sit there, go up and down, you let it sit there and you get this guaranteed income from this account.
Whereas if you sold the stock, you'd have to pay the tax on it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, so if you sold it, you have to pay, your capital gains on it. But what we don't want to do is sell it. And if the stock's appreciated a whole lot, there's strategies that what we'd have to do is roll it up to another term so you don't have to sell it. So there's ways not to have to sell it if it does have a big appreciation. So there's things that we do that you might want to look at if you're looking for additional income and not wanting to sell your big holdings of stocks that have a lot of gains in there.
That's a great point, man. And just to clarify that, so they're going to be able to take income from it because it's an option based, but yet get the gains if the stock continues to go up. But
yes,
they're putting money in their pocket without selling the stock.
They're allowed to get the gains up to, let's say, 20%.
Right.
Okay, so if it went beyond 20%, they would have to be called. But that's okay. If they get called, we would roll it up for another term. Okay. But instead of having 8%, let's say, they might only get 4% on that second tranche of money. But that's okay because they got all that gain and they got to lock it in and they still hold the stock. So there's ways out there that we can show you that you might not be utilizing all the tools. And that's what we do at the Advantage Retirement Group. I just got back from a convention that it was a company that we do a lot of our business with, that we partner with, and they had their 20th anniversary. And when I first joined them, they're good friends of mine now, but when I first joined them, there was 14 employees. Now there's 1,000 employees. Yeah. And these guys are they're the legendary in this field. They are the ones that people look up to in what they do, and they have just grown, and they've grown because they partner with the right companies, they partner with the right people, and the growth that they've had in 20 years is just absolutely amazing. We when you have 14 employees and we put our trust in them when there was 14 employees, now they have 1,000, and they take care of us because we were as big as they were, and we joined them.
Yeah.
And they don't forget that, and it's a wonderful relationship that we have. And now now they're having Zach Brown play a private concert for us. We were over there celebrating their 20th. There was 4,000 people there with the families of all the people in Kansas. It was just amazing.
And to grow that big, I mean, maybe you can talk to the investors that are listening about the fact that because they're so big and have such access, that you can pass on institutional pricing that
Good
the
point.
investor can't really get a hold of, can they?
Yeah, and we talk about that all the time. That I always want products and things that you just can't get out on the market. Through Amazon or through Fidelity or whatever. I want things that you have to, it has to be, very special to have. You have to go through someone, and that's what's nice about what we have. Because of the relationship that we have, we're able to get things that you cannot get on your own, or if you could get them, you would have to put in millions and millions of dollars to get the same pricing to get what we can give you by just putting a few $100,000 in that one thing, because we don't want to maybe put $5 million in there. We might only want to put a couple hundred in there and then put some more money in other things. And that's what we're able to do here. So institutional investing is the way to go, and really the products that we have and the managers that we are able to offer, that's what breaks us apart from the majority of the people. That's not just in this area, that's around the country.
Yeah, and they put together, funds that are different than just your average Vanguard or Fidelity type funds. You
Yeah.
have custom-made funds, don't you?
Yeah, these are called SMA accounts. A lot of them are individual stocks. So if a stock isn't doing good, a company's not doing good, we can take that one stock out and put it, replace it with something. We're not going to, it's not an ETF, it's not a mutual fund, it's called an SMA. So SMA is how the high net worth clients like to invest, because they like to see what they own. These are individual stocks that that are going to look at, it's going to represent maybe the S&P or the NASDAQ, but they're going to be just maybe 50 companies versus 500 companies. It's a big difference, because we can take out companies that aren't doing good and replace them, where you can't really do that when you have a big index.
Yeah, that's an amazing thing, and that's really why you want to get involved with Alfie Townsend, because these are strategies that the uber wealthy utilize, and you could take advantage of it as an average investor that's listening to us today by sitting down with Alfie. He does what's called a retirement simulator process. Sit down with him in Fort Myers or Naples. Be one of the first 9 callers or texters to text the word VISIT to 239-747-1077. Listen, you owe it to yourself. You have an opportunity right now to maximize your portfolio and maximize your income plan and strategy. New president, pro-business, pro-America. Things are going to start rocking and rolling towards the upward motion, and you want to be positioned for that. Don't hesitate. Don't wait to the end of the broadcast. Pick up your phone right now. Call the operator or text the word VISIT to 239-747-1077 so that you could sit down with Alfie in Fort Myers or Naples. And, jobless claims rose more than expected. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it was pretty much in line with what they were calling for, 218,000. So that's all good. So the economy, we're in a good economy. The things I look at it, what is going to be a great economy, because when you're getting rid of all this regulation, and companies have been held back because they weren't allowed to do so many things, and that's why you saw these big companies, even the AI companies, they were handcuffed with the Biden administration on what they were allowed to do. When you have these figureheads that are, when you have Elon Musk in there, and you have these great minds that are on, like you said, that are on his side this term, it's going to be a different ball game. And I think there's no limit on how great this could be. This could be the golden age, the best, economy we've seen in our lifetime. So I'm looking forward to that. Stay tuned. We have so much more to talk about. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Saving the Investor with certified financial planner Alfie Townsend. 40 years experience as a CFP. You want to give him a call, 239-747-1077. Visit with him in Fort Myers or Naples. We're in our last segment right here, and we want to talk about 5 money moves to make under the new Trump administration. This is really important, what you put together here, and hopefully we can get to a couple of them. But he's pro-business. He's got environmental aspects of it, financial strategies, and proactive strategies. There are 5 money moves that you put together for investors, and they're very important. And maybe we could start with the first one, which is why is it important to have a tax-efficient income strategy during this first term?
When you're looking at strategies, John, you have to look at a lot of different things, and you have to look at taxes, because taxes are going to be, they're probably going to stay the same right now. Trump is trying to get them lower. So that's a good thing.
Or even eliminate it. Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, I mean that's the whole.
That's ambitious.
Yeah, that's very ambitious to get rid of the IRS. But I think he did say the 87,000 IRS agents are going to be on the border.
Yeah, perfect. That's why it's shut down.
Yeah, I tell you what, this is that was scary to hire 87,000 agents that carry guns.
Yeah,
that wasn't too American friendly, right? That's a different country. But no, so, when you have pro-business, you want to start looking at growth companies. You want to start looking at companies that's going to position for really more growth oriented. And that's, you have to look at your tech stocks. I think that your tech stocks are going to be the ones that are going to be more growth oriented. You have to look at AI, but then you also have to look at energy, John, because energy has to run everything. So if you're not looking at energy during these this time, you're going to be missing out, because energy is going to be a big factor to running these big these big plants that they're going to need to run AI. So these are all things that we have to look at. But so we want to put together tax efficiency. When we say tax efficiency, you don't want everything to be taxed as you're making the money. If you want to defer it, you can defer it. But when you have long-term cap gains, that's taxed at a different rate than ordinary income. So ordinary income, anytime you're investing in the market, typically that's going to be your long-term cap gains. That's a lower rate. That's like a 15% rate. It does go up to 20% after you hit a certain level, like $400,000 or $500,000. But you would rather have that than have to pay on ordinary income. So you want to look at the way that you're investing, and you want to look at anytime you can save 40 to 50% taxes on your money, on your different investments, you have to take that in consideration when you're taking income. Because if you can if you don't need as much money because you're not paying as much taxes, that's a good thing.
Yeah. Well, that's what you talk about all the time when, if someone has a couple $1 million in their portfolio, they don't really have a couple $1 million when they start taking it out, do they?
You're talking about the, really what you're talking about there is the IRS. Someone might be sitting there with $1 million.
Right.
But do you really have $1 million? Because if you said, I want to take all that money out, you're sitting with about $650,000.
Yeah.
If that.
That's a big difference.
That's a big difference. So, so you could be sitting there with like $800,000 or something that's not taxable, that's worth that much more.
Right.
So you have to look at taxes. You have to look at different strategies, and that's one of the things that we're going to do when we do planning. We're gonna look at taxes. We're going to look at income, and we have some income strategies right now, John, that depends on your net worth. It depends on really your income or your net worth, but we can generate a little bit more than 12% return on income. That's a pretty conservative type of investment that, if you're looking for income, it's a great way to take income and let your portfolio sit there and grow and take income. So if we can get you that type of return, then what happens is you don't have to put as much money in there to get that return. So if you're looking for, let's just say, argument's sake, you're looking for $60,000. Right? $60,000. Well, that's only $500,000 we'd really need to get you $60,000. Where if you were only getting 4%, you have to have over $1.5 million, right? To get you that $60,000.
And then you don't touch the principal.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So we can show you how to create income, and we can show you how to grow that portfolio. And that's what we do here at the Advantage Retirement Group. We'll put strategies together for you, and we'll show you, where the income's coming from, how we're going to invest, and why we're investing this way. This is long-term money. This is your short-term money, emergency money, and this is your income money. So, as a certified financial planner professional, CFP, that is the way that we were taught, and this is the way that you want to, that we get our clients to and through retirement, is putting real good income plans together. But we have to look at everything. We look at your taxes. We have to look at what your strategy is, what your risk is, and then we put that plan together.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing, to be able to put a plan like that together where you may not have heard that before, in your circles, or maybe your advisor isn't even talking about that. But how would you like to get 12% on your money and be able to take $60,000 on $500,000 invested over a year's time? That is a tremendous asset that people can take advantage of. If you want to find out more about that, why not pick up the phone, give Alfie a call, 239-747-1077, or you can text the word VISIT to that number, VISIT, to 888-747-1077. Taxes really are the ticking time bomb that people really have to be focused on, especially if they're nearing retirement or they're currently retired, because it can have an effect on their bottom line, doesn't it?
Oh, it does, John. And a lot of advisors are only looking at investments, but what is these investments creating in taxes? That's what we want to look at. We want to look at income. We want to look at strategies, and we want to look at your risk. Because your risk, when you're retired, it's a whole different thing. When you're investing and you're retired, your risk level is going to change.
Definitely.
It definitely changes.
Conservative, don't you?
You're going to get, maybe not conservative, but you're going to be more conservative than you were when you were working, because you can't take as much risk.
Right.
So it's, when we're talking about retirement, we're talking about a good income plan. You got to have your income plan, because you're no longer, getting that paycheck every week or biweekly. So we have to create that income for you. And that's a big difference when it comes to investing. Next week, we have a special guest. We're going to have Scott Fisher, Scott Fisher is, he's a legend here in the,
Harley guy.
Yep, Harley, and has another really project coming over in the Cape that we're going to be talking about. So you want to listen in next week to Saving the Investor. And John, this has been, I'll let you say your last few words, but it was a pretty awesome week, wasn't it?
It really is. Looking forward to 52 weeks in this year, and then 3 more sets of that.
Yeah.
It's going to be tremendous. And then hopefully J.D. Vance.
Yeah, it's going to be, it's definitely, the tide changed big time. It was like doom and gloom. It was, business was good for us, but I just didn't feel, the clients just didn't feel it. We were getting them good returns and everything, but they just weren't feeling, secure in the sense of the confidence level wasn't high for our economy. And now the economy, I think, is going to get stronger. Our country's going to get stronger, and you're going to start to see the confidence of, I think, everybody growing, and it's just a great thing to see. I hope everyone that's listening feels as good as we do about 2025. It's going to be one of those years. Hey, we're always going to have up and down in the market. Nothing is just straight up.
Right.
But what's nice about it is we have, we feel more confident and safer than we felt in a long time. You're listening to Saving the Investor. And again, next week, we're going to have a special guest, Scott Fisher. And people know him as the Harley Man here in Southwest Florida, but he has another venture that he's going to be talking about. And I don't know if you ever watched our TV show. It's called Saving the Investor. It's on NBC2 right after Meet the Press every Sunday at 11 o'clock, 11 to 11:30. And of course, we've been here on this channel going on like 13, 14 years now on 92.5. And of course, we have Jake the Millennial helping us out. He's the producer of the show. We thank you for that, and we thank you for listening. Until next week, be blessed.